Hello everyone, welcome to Nikki's Guide to Understanding the Ice Climbers. This is a guide that I made a while ago, and after moving computers I wasn't able to find the original file anymore. It's still around somewhere, but I made a recording of the guide a while ago, so I'll just use the video of the guide to show you all the slides and talk you through what's going on there. A lot of the slides are self-explanatory, but I'll still try to add context where I can. So in this guide, we'll be talking about Nana and Popo, and we'll always be talking about the main climber, the player-controlled climber, when we say Popo, while the CPU climber will always be Nana. I know that technically in some of the Ice Climbers costumes, Nana is the one that you're controlling, and Popo is the CPU, but for the sake of this, Popo is just the one that you control, and Nana is the CPU. So when it comes to the basic mechanics for the Ice Climbers, the Ice Climbers can be connected, which means that they're both just on top of each other and they both listen to whatever moves you input. Generally, if you do any attack, Nana will attack or do that attack 6 frames after Popo, so there's always a 6-frame delay with which Nana functions. If sometimes Popo's attack doesn't hit, but because Nana's attack comes out later, hers might still land, which can make stuff safer on shield, which can make attacks hit even though Popo's attack didn't land, because Nana's comes out just a bit later when the opponent is now in range. Under the stock icon of the Ice Climbers, you can only see the percent that Popo has. Nana might be at a completely different percent that you can't see on the scoreboard. So if it says 0%, Nana could be at 100 already, or it could say 100%, but Nana might only be at 50%, for example. Cool, little example of Ice Climbers doing their moves, and you can see that Nana's always come out just a little bit after Popo's. Cool. Alright, now we have Hitlag. So when Ice Climbers get hit, a lot of the time, even if only one climber gets hit, Hitlag makes it so that the attack stays out for longer, which can also make it so that the other climber gets hit right after. You see right here in this little example that Fox's shine usually is only out for 1 frame, but if, for example, Nana gets hit by the shine, like right here, the shine hitbox stays out while Nana and Fox are in Hitlag, so if Popo then runs into the shine, Popo can get hit by the same shine a couple frames later. So a lot of attacks end up staying out longer than normal if they hit one climber, which can make it harder for the other climber to avoid the attack. And that's also why sometimes if you do an attack that only hits Nana, it arguably becomes a bit more difficult for the opponent to whiff punish, because the Popo has to think about, alright, is Nana going to get hit and when is it safe for me to move in? But it also makes your attack effectively have a bit more lag some of the time, because if you're hitting Nana, then there's always going to be those extra couple of frames on your aerial where you're in hit lag, and then you land, and those frames can give Popo enough time to get back on top of you and punish you. Alright, Ice Climbers have very low traction in melee, which means that their wave dash is really long, but it also means that when they get hit as they're shielding or when they crouch cancel, they slide really far away on the ground, which makes stuff like shield grabbing or crouch cancel grabbing a lot more difficult for them, because they just get pushed so far away, and they also just have a really small grab range, which means that when they're shielding, there aren't really a lot of great forward-facing out of shield options they can use to counter-attack. Cool. We look at the little example here. Falco forward smash is a classic example. You get hit by it, you try to shield grab, you don't hit the shield grab, Falco forward smashes a second time, and then you get hit. When it comes to crouch canceling works in the way it works is that as you hold down when you get hit and when you get out of hit lag, on the last frame of hit lag, if you're holding down, your character will enter the air, but then also get half a smash DI input downwards because you're holding down. So you will enter the air and land on the same frame, which means that attacks that would otherwise pop you up a little bit will make you instantly land on the ground, only forcing you to go through 4 frames of landing lag that you would otherwise get if you were, for example, just doing an empty jump and landing. However, Nana, as soon as she gets hit, she stops listening to your inputs, so if Ice Climbers players go for a crouch cancel, then only Popo will actually get the crouch cancel, Nana will just kind of get popped up anyways, like you can see here with the Marth example. Try to crouch cancel down smash, but Nana just doesn't join in. While the Ice Climbers are connected, meaning that they're close to each other, and neither of them is like in hit stun, if Popo moves in a direction and Nana is busy doing something else, she'll get dragged along towards Popo, which is called the Popoforce, You see right here that I can do a Nana Blizzard or charge an up smash with her, and if I move forward with Popo, she'll just follow along without actually moving, right? Usually you can't move while you're charging a smash attack, but Nana she's just built like that. So when you dash dance with Ice Climbers, Nana will very often just get disconnected. This is because Nana is forced to face the same direction Popo is facing after 5 frames, which is before she would receive the dash dance input, which would be 6 frames later, right? This means that just by dash dancing, a lot of the time Ice Climbers will either desync themselves, or even worse, they will end up disconnected. Disconnected means that Nana is somewhere on the stage, but she's not listening to your inputs anymore. When Nana's on the ground, she has different modes that she can enter. She can enter reconnect mode, where she just looks for where Popo is on the stage and tries to run back to him. And then if she's on the ground next to Popo and moving at a relative speed to Popo in the same direction as him, they will reconnect with each other. Yeah, like we're seeing right here, Nana just kind of gets confused and then she tries to follow Popo and then she makes it back to him. Great. Ice Climbers aerials. Ices have really good aerials. They can auto-cancel both their back air and up air out of a short hop. Short hop up air with an auto-cancel is the more difficult one because you have to input the up air within 4 frames of entering the air, which is pretty difficult to do. And you also cannot fast fall the up air. If you try to fast fall short hop up air, you're never going to get the auto-cancel. With back air, it's more lenient and you can also fast fall it and still get the auto-cancel. Ice Climbers short hop up air will hit through most side platforms, except for Dreamland, where if you do the auto-cancel up air, it won't poke through. You have to jump and then do one at the apex of your short hop, and then it will barely poke through, but only at a small part of the platform. Yeah, and up air is great for hitting people on platforms or people above you, and back air is great for walling people out on the ground or catching people as they try to jump at you. Well, just a couple movement examples. On the right, you can see Ice Climbers short hop up air through the battlefield side platform, showing that even the side platform isn't completely safe against Ices. All right, cool. Next slide will come up in 3, 2, 1. Here. This is how Ices can recover. Ice Climbers can recover using side B or up B. For an up B, Nana has to be somewhat close to Popo. You're currently seeing that on the upper right gameplay example. You see right here that if the right climber, or if the left climber Popo does an up B, there's this big white circle around him, which is the range from which Nana can get pulled back to him, which is really long. And Nana has to be in that range and ready to do something, right? She can't be like in hit stun currently or spinning in the air in tumble. If Nana is off stage in tumble after getting hit, tumble being, spinning around in the air, she's never going to leave tumble unless she still has her double jump, which if she has it, she'll use at a very predictable timing. Ice Climber's side B allows them to gain a decent amount of height. However, the connection range for it is a lot smaller. So if you want to do a synced side B with Nana, you have to be way closer to her. And if you're just Popo, then your side B isn't going to go nearly as far and you have to mash the B button really hard to go anywhere. But as you can see at the bottom with both climbers, you can go really high up. This is the Nana up B save and the ledge stall. If you do an up B with Popo right as you're about to start falling next to a ledge, you can snap to a ledge instantly right away and also throw up Nana with the up B. Nana won't be fully invincible here, but she will be invincible for a long while during this and also have a hitbox, so that's pretty cool to do. And you can hit Nana out of this, you just have to make sure you respect your hitbox. So desyncing is when you throw ICs off rhythm. This means that Nana isn't going to do the same thing Popo did 6 frames earlier. Instead, you can just attack independently with both climbers. So you can do a forward smash with one of them, and then a bit later do a different smash attack with the other, and then the first one is actionable again, so the first one can do something again. The easiest way to set up a desync is to spot dodge, roll, or whiff a grab, because then you can just hold, for example, down B, and Nana will do a blizzard as soon as she can. And you can also do a dash dance desync, where you abuse the fact that Nana can't properly dash dance to make her do like a blizzard, like you can see on the down right here, which is a great way of getting a desynced attack out without being as predictable.
So like I said earlier, when Nana is disconnected, she will stop responding to the player's inputs and she'll be controlled by her AI. Her AI can enter different modes, those being reconnection mode, which we talked about. There is also attack mode and recovery mode. In reconnection mode, she tries to get close to Popo to reconnect with him. If she's in attack mode, or if she's in this reconnect mode and she runs through an opposing character, she might enter attack mode, which means that she'll throw out attacks or rolls based on what percent Popo is at. You see right here that if Popo's percent is between 0 and 19, Nana will have a CPU level of 0. And then with each 20% that Popo gets from there, Nana's CPU level will go up by 1. Alright, you kind of see Nana beat up the Peach a little bit, and then she's done, and then she goes back to Popo, which is great. So when Nana is off stage, she will enter recovery mode, which means she'll double jump back towards the stage at a similar timing every time. She'll also try to use a Randall if Randall is around. If Nana is on ledge and the opponent is nearby, she'll randomly choose between her ledge options, those being normal get up, roll, get up, attack, and ledge jump. Or rather, if there's no opponent near ledge, she will randomly choose, but if there is an opponent near the ledge, then she's more likely to do a ledge get up attack. At level 0, she'll always do it, but then as her level increases, she becomes more likely to do the other ledge options again. And then it says right here, Nana will only reconnect if both climbers are alive on the surface, are close to each other, and are moving at relative speeds. Cool. So now we get into the wobbling part, the fun part. So wobbling is indefinitely alternating between a Popo pummel and an attack from Nana in order to keep the opponent stuck in the grab with no chance of escaping. Usually the way this is done is by doing a pummel with Popo and then a forward tilt with Nana. How to wobble? Yeah, we got to this part just now. Usually you did Popo pummel, Nana forward tilt. You can also do a wobble with other moves, but generally forward tilt or down tilt were the most common ones, because if you get to do infinite pummels anyways, you might as well use the tilt or the Nana attack that is easiest to keep the wobble going. A common point of confusion is thinking that both climbers are pummeling during a wobble. However, only one climber actually grabs the opponents. Only the climber who has the grab on the opponent can do a pummel, whereas Nana is usually doing tilt attacks or a blizzard most of the time. And only Popo during a wobble is the one who's actually pummeling. So now that we've talked about what wobbling is, we can talk about how wobbling was banned. So wobbling is defined as a sequence of more than 3 player-controlled pummels, between each of which the opponent is hit with any number of non-pummel hitboxes, plausibly locking them in continuous grab hit stun. This means that if we want to break it down, a wobble is anything that consists of more than 3 pummels, so 4 pummels or more, between each of which Nana does an attack that locks the opponent in hit stun. So no matter what Nana is doing, if Popo only does 3 pummels, it can never be a wobble, and even if Popo does 4 pummels or 5 pummels, it might not be a wobble, depending on what Nana was doing in between those pummels. So we can grab our opponent, do 3 pummels, do 3 attacks with Nana at least, both of these, and then if we throw the opponent, this counter will reset back to 0, and if we end up getting another grab somehow, we can once again do our 3 pummels, 3 Nana attacks, and then, yeah, keep the combo going. So right here at the bottom, we see a video of like a quick grab combo, which looks like a wobble into a down throw forward smash, but it's not actually a wobble, because it's only 3 pummels and 3 Nana attacks, which falls within the rule set of, being allowed, and wobbling is banned, so it's not wobbling. Now, what do Ice Climbers players actually do when they get a grab? Ices can do different moves when they have a grab on the opponent, and if you can do 3 attacks with Nana and 3 pummels, you want to do the attacks that do the most damage, right? Nana's Blizzard does the most damage. However, comboing your first pummel into Nana's Blizzard often takes too long and allows people to mash out, and comboing a Blizzard into another Blizzard is a really small frame window. This is called Blizzobbling. It works, it can be done, but usually combining a Nana forward tilt and then a Nana Blizzard and alternating between these two gives you a good amount of damage while also being easiest to perform. So yeah, that's why usually you'll see people do pummel forward tilt, pummel Blizzard, pummel forward tilt, which is called Nobbling. And right here, this is our slide for forward tilt. Forward tilt does less damage but it has less startup and the least end lag out of Nana's attacks. So this is the move that people would usually wobble with because it's the easiest to perform. But if we have to maximize the damage we get from our 3 Nana moves, then of course we don't just want to use the move that's easiest. We want to find a combination of moves that do the most damage while still being consistently doable for us relative to our skill levels. So, this is why in an optimal world, Ice Climbers will start their grab combo by doing 1 forward tilt with Nana, and then afterwards they will try to combine 1 blizzard into another blizzard, because this just does the most damage. At the bottom you can see right here, if you do 3 forward tilts with Nana, it does 18%. If you end up doing 3 blizzards, it does 31%. But most of the time you will be somewhere in the middle, where you're either doing 2 forward tilts, 1 blizzard, or 1 forward tilt and 2 blizzards. Cool. Yeah, a little Nobbling example, that's great. Now we get to handoffs. Handoffs is when one climber throws the opponent, and then the other climber grabs the opponent right as they get out of the first climber's throw. This is not a chain grab. A chain grab is something one character can do on their own, which usually involves throwing an opponent, they get popped up, and then before they can act, you grab them again. But right here, the opponent doesn't even get popped up, they just get out of the grab and don't even fly up, right? Like if you look at this Peach, the Peach gets down thrown by Popo, and now as she pops up, she's instantly grabbed again. So she never actually goes up, she just escapes the first grab, instantly goes to the second grab. When Nana grabs an opponent, she will pummel a random amount of times, and unless you're close to an edge, Nana will throw in a random direction. Only Nana's forward throw and down throw can be regrabbed by Popo on reaction. So on center stage, if you do a handoff, there's a 50% chance that if you execute perfectly, you can get 1 extra grab. Then, if Nana grabs the opponent near an edge, she will always throw the opponent towards an edge, and if you're facing that direction, which means that Nana will always forward throw in that direction, you then have a very predictable and easy to execute on Nana forward throw that you can then hand off from again. This is a rough sketch of the ranges where once you're there, Nana will always throw towards an edge. And of course, the same thing goes for when you're on a platform, because the edge of a platform, you know, it's not a ledge you can grab on. But for Nana, she sees that and she wants to throw people off of whatever ground she's standing on. You'll also see that on Pokemon Stadium, on the right side, the zone where Nana is guaranteed to throw towards the right ledge is a lot larger than it is on other stages. Okay, so when you're doing a handoff, since Nana's forward throw releases the opponent a good bit in front of her, Popo needs to walk forward a tiny bit to regrab that forward throw, and if you keep doing that, eventually you run out of stage to walk into, and yeah, that's why ledge handoffs do end eventually, unless you do some frame perfect stuff at the end, because you just run out of space to walk forward into, which makes it impossible to regrab Nana's forward throw eventually. The down throw animation that you usually do when you throw the opponent from Popo to Nana depends on the opponent's weight. So against some characters, you have to regrab really quickly after doing a down throw. Against some, you have to delay it by a lot. And not just the timing is different, the frame window is also different against different characters. So you see, for example, against Fox, it's a 3 to 4 frame window. Against Falco, it's 2 to 3 frames. And then against, for example, Samus, it's a 2 to 3 frame window, just like against Falco, but the timing is a lot different. So there's a lot that you need to practice here if you want to get good at combining down throw handoffs and yeah, just ledge handoffs from a Nana forward throw. Here's another way of regrabbing an opponent. This is not a chain grab or a handoff. This is basically just a combo you can do, down throw, down air. When you down throw on an opponent, you can do a down air with Nana, which means that opponents get popped up right in front of Ice Climbers because their down air has a very low amount of set knockback that doesn't change depending on your percent. So if you down throw the opponent and down air with Nana, then they just kind of become actionable in front of the Ices again, and if they're not ready for it, they get regrabbed again instantly. Fast fallers will usually try to smash the eye down to the ground and can then spot dodge or roll away, and slower falling characters can usually just hold up or smash the eye up to escape the down throw, down air regrab. Cool. So now combo finishers. So Ice Climbers usually want to finish their combos by doing a throw into a smash attack like we're seeing at the bottom right now. You can do a down throw and then a forward smash or up smash with Nana. However, Ices can also do a forward throw into a smash attack. The forward throw does a little bit more damage than the down throw. And also forward throw into dash jump cancel up smash with Nana is your fastest way of KOing floaty characters off the top. Yeah, that's how ice climbers want to finish their grab combos. Once the opponent has enough percent, you grab them, and then you down throw, forward throw them, throw them off stage. So this is just a quick slide on what stages ice climbers like. Of course, they love FD in pretty much any matchup. Arguably, it's not the greatest against maybe Peach, but I still like it in that matchup. Pokemon Stadium tends to be the second best stage for them in most matchups, except for maybe Samus or something, but even there, again, I still like it as well. Battlefield is usually alright, but never super good. I feel like it's worst against Puff, because Puff just really wants to go to Dreamland or Battlefield, and especially super floaty characters, also Peach, who just want to play really far away from you. It can be rough. But generally, ice climbers don't do horribly on any stage in any matchup, because all the stages where they could get ran down, they also punish much harder. And the stages where they could get camped, if you get the lead as ices, it's really difficult for opponents to get the lead back from you. So yeah, that's why usually FD is your best stage, Stadium is usually your second best stage, and then after that, it really just depends on matchup. Cool. And talking about matchups, those are roughly like Icy's matchups, ordered very, very roughly from worst to least bad, from top to bottom. Peach is really tough, Fox is tough, Jigglypuff can be hard, Samus can be hard. But I'd say that Peach is the only one that is like actively hard, and everything else becomes very doable once you figure out a couple of important things and get better at controlling your character and just get better at playing Super Smash Bros. Melee and playing good neutral. So yeah, a lot of matchups will feel really difficult, like Luigi, for example, or Falcon, but those are matchups where once you learn one or two things and you understand those characters better, ice climbers have the tools to technically win any situation just because of how much stuff you can do with all the tech they have. So yeah, it's a good idea to try to not become a doomer about any matchup and just keep doing your best. All right, yeah, and I think that's it. Thanks for taking your time to look at this, and I hope you had fun, and I'll see you around.